What is up, guys? It is the FM Seagull here, and today I'm bringing back a classic. It's Top 10 Wonderkids time. This time it's Striker Edition. You guys, if you have watched the last Wonderkid video, you know that I don't just necessarily go for the ones with the highest potential. I also try to find some hidden gems for you guys, some people with lower value, so that you can sign them in a lot of different saves, or you can sign multiple in the same save, or you can sign them in a save without them costing too much of your budget. Remember to like and subscribe. Also comment which position you want me to do next. Maybe if you want me doing some other videos, let me know. And yeah, we'll just get into this video. So the first few players here are going to be in the potential range 130 to 160. This means that at the very worst potential, their potential is the current ability of Mario Balotelli. 130, it's Mario Balotelli in 2022. Not phenomenal. But at their best, they can beat Gabriel Jesus. That's pretty impressive. So we're going to get into those players. Number one right here, Dr. Hulfana. He is Ivorian, plays in Norway, which is why his price is this low. He's already got great physicals. He's already got good flair. He already works hard, good determination. This guy's definitely somebody that you can very easily develop. And he's somebody that if you've played pretty far into the future in other saves, you've probably seen him go on to play very well for some Premier League clubs. Personally, I feel like I always see him at Arsenal doing stuff towards the late 2020s. So he's definitely somebody that you should be looking to pick up. Next player is a little bit more expensive, but he is also, I guess you could say, a little bit better. He's a little bit more well-rounded, still on the same 130 to 160 potential range. He's a little bit older, but he does play in a bigger league, and he has actually got some first team experience from Hoffenheim. It's this guy, Georginio Richard. He's French. He's worth 5 to 8 million, which is not much when you consider that he's somebody who could be as good as Gabriel Jesus in the future. And he's also already got some fairly well-rounded stats. He obviously looks like a really good pressing forward already. He's also got some dribbling ability, which is something that a lot of pressing forwards don't have. And yeah, he's definitely somebody that I would recommend you at least considering for your team. Keeping on at the 130 to 160 potential range, we have Marko Milovanovich, a Serbian, plays for Partizan. He's worth only 650k to 4 million, and he is absolutely massive. 196 centimeters tall. Very impressive height for such a young guy. And he's also fairly two-footed, as you can see, which obviously helps. And he's got a good base, I'd say, technically, especially for sort of like a target forward sort of player. And obviously he's got a lot of room to improve, but he's also got a lot of, potential. So another one that for his price, you probably should pick up. You should give him a chance. Now to somebody that I have actually tested out in my own save. It's Holman Mccormick. His stats are very different in this save from the save that I use him in. For whatever reason, he's got a weird, cocktail of stats, with 15 heading and 3 jumping reach being like the biggest highlight for me in terms of his weirdness. But in general, 15 years old, 130 to 160 potential ability, very good technicals already for such a young guy. 15 finishing, right? You don't really care that he's got 9 composure, because you can just train him to blast the ball into the net and he'll do it. He's on loan from Independiente Santa Fe to Tigres. which I'm actually not 100% sure if he is that in every save. If he is, he's worth waiting around for anyway. You can't really sign him until he's 18 because he's Colombian, so he can't actually come to your club until he's 18, so it doesn't really matter. Let him get the development first. But yeah, he is somebody that I definitely recommend. You've probably seen his price up there by now as well. Very good, cheap pickup that, if he doesn't turn into the next Gabriel Jesus, you will still make a lot of money off of him. Next up, we have this guy right here called Nick Breitenbücher, which I probably butchered. Just kind of ironic considering his name. He's also got a weird cocktail stats, not in the same way that McCormick did, which, by the way, his name is Holman Mccormick. He's 100% Colombian, which makes him even cooler. But yeah, another guy on the 130 to 160, very cheap, obviously under 5 million at Hoffenheim. You don't really, expect that to happen. Really good dribbling first touch, also makes very good decisions, got good flair, good acceleration. This guy's a great dribbler, and obviously we are looking at strikers right here, and he will be a good striker for you, but I do also think that he will be an excellent winger if that is where you would, prefer to play him, I guess. Only 18 years old, you can't really go wrong with this guy if you decide to sign him pretty early on. And now we have the final 130 to 160 potential range player. Every player from, after this guy going forwards is going to have even better potential than that. His name is Enrique Araujo? Not really sure. My Portuguese isn't very good. But this is a guy that, for his price, right, which obviously is on the more expensive end on the players that we've been looking at so far, but when you look at his stats, he's already very good. Like, this is a guy that, like, if you are, I don't know, a championship side maybe, you could definitely use this guy, like, as a starter, and he's only 19 years old. He can definitely get better, like, physically he isn't impressive, he's well rounded, but he doesn't have any standout stuff. But hey, already this good, can become as good as Gabriel Jesus. Maybe he's one of those players that, doesn't need much development to actually get to his max potential. Who knows? So now we're moving on to the players who have 140 to 170 potential ability range. Now, 140 to 170 means that in like a worst case scenario, their potential is Ollie Watkins, decent striker for a mid-table Premier League club. But on the top end of their range, they are somewhere in the middle of Heung-min Son and Romelu Lukaku. Which, if you don't know, by the way, Romelu Lukaku in Football Manager, chef's kiss. He is absolutely phenomenal. So is this guy right here, Adam Hlosek. Now, he was in my first Top 10 Wonderkid video. He had to make a reappearance here. He is actually the only person appearing in both lists, which means, yes, you will not be seeing Benjamin Sesko or Kareem Adeyemi. As I said, I wanted to find some, more unknown players for you guys, but Adam Hlosek is still that guy. He's still unknown. He's still somebody that he just appears into the game with really, really good stats already. When you look at this guy's stats, 16 pace, 16 acceleration, 14 agility balance, 14 finishing. Like, he can do a job for you straight away. And for his price, for somebody of this quality at 18 years old, who can be as good as Heung-min Son, right? It's sort of a similar player, inside forward striker. By the way, 2.5-star inside forward at Man United. This is pretty impressive. Yeah. He is somebody that I 100% recommend. If you haven't tried out Adam Hlosek, in FM22. You absolutely have to try him out. He is amazing. Another player on the 140 to 170 range is this man right here, Hulfana. I mean, hello. Those physicals, those mentals, for somebody who's only 18 years old, yes, his technicals need quite a bit of work. But, I mean, like, if you disregard the technicals, right? If you don't even look at the technicals, these are the mentals and physicals of somebody who plays at a high level in the Premier League. And he's 18. And he's not 18 gonna be 19 in 1 month. No. He's been 18 for 5 months. He even tries first time shots, which is incredibly weird considering he has 10 first touch. But I respect it, you know? Do what you gotta do. And yeah, I mean, 5.6 to 8.6 million for somebody who plays in such a high reputation club as Roma is, that's really not that bad. Also, obviously, as I said, considering those physicals and mentals, he's somebody that technically could go right into your team, probably as a pressing forward, where obviously the technicals aren't as important. But yeah, still very, very solid player. Now, if you haven't heard of this guy, we have an expression in Norway which is quite, I mean, it's very simple. It's just run out and buy. Go and buy him. I mean, 220k to 2.2 million. What could go wrong? 140 to 170 potential range. Remember that. Watkins to Lukaku. That is how good this guy can be. When you look at him right now, you're probably thinking, how's he going to get that good? It's way too many things that need improving. He needs to improve his shooting. He needs to improve his mentals. He needs to improve his physicals. He has to improve everything. He can do it. If there's somebody who can just evolve into this master player, he is the one. Try and search up videos of this guy on FM, like just people doing like putting his like max potential in, and then just see how good he actually gets. He becomes like a world beater, like actually the best striker in the world, and so many people's saves. Incredible player. But now it is time for the last guy on the list, the only person who has, or on this list obviously, who has the potential range 150 to 180. His worst is not that much worse than the best that the first 6 players on this list can possibly get. His like the worst case scenario, this guy's potential is Andre Silva. Right? He's a good player. You wouldn't call him world class. But, you know, he's very good and he can do a job at a Champions League team. But at the very best, 180. The striker in the game that stood out to me with 180 current ability, Kareem Benzema. Probably the best striker in the world in real life right now. That is how good this guy can get. And when you look at his stats right here, I mean, it's not hard to believe at all, is it? First off, to just start that off, he's got 18 determination, driven personality. He will develop. Also, wow, 16 finishing, 16 heading, 17 jumping reach, and 15 strength. This guy is already like a Premier League level target forward. If you want a target forward to play for some mid-table Premier League team, this guy can do it right away. He's also already got some cool traits, like plays with back to goal, which is really good for target forwards. He shoots with power, which is usually good for people who have low technique, low composure, which comparatively to the best strikers in the Premier League, he does have. He tries long-range free kicks, which is pretty cool, even though he's only got 13 free kick taking, so it's maybe a little bit ambitious. But hey, you live and you learn. Also, okay, that's a Palermo that plays in Series C, so he doesn't actually have any like very high level experience so far, which could be worrying. You might not get a work permit for him, and if you loan him back out to Pisa, you also won't get a work permit because you're not in the top division. So you would have to actually get him in and then loan him out if you're in the Premier League. But say you're in the Bundesliga, I mean, you're not going to win the Bundesliga the first season anyway, so you might as well pick this guy out. And I mean, for his price, you can see his price. That is a very tempting price for somebody who can become, I will say it again, and I will say it into infinity until everybody tries this guy out. He can be as good as Kareem Benzema. Nothing more that has to be said. Very simply put, he is absolutely phenomenal in the game. Go and pick him up right now if you haven't tried him out before. So guys, that was it for this video. If you have enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Also comment, whatever you want to see in regards to FM, obviously. I am open for doing very many, different styles of content. I just want to, film what people want to see. So yeah, on that note, me and Harold Gunderson from Suits. If you haven't seen Suits, just Google Harold Gunderson from Suits. And this guy right here, Owen Moffat, who I stumbled upon in my quest upon my quest to find the best striker Wonderkids for you guys. He is absolutely like he's a spitting image. I've never seen two people who can't be the same person who look that much alike. But yeah, me and Harold Gunderson hope that we see you in the next video. Bye.